Good evening, everyone. Monaco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So I'm a little early, as usual. Just make sure it's coming through clearly. Let me know if you can hear me well. Good. Hi, Gary D. Yeah, some of you might have heard about a video I posted today on YouTube. I'm not going to go over the subject because that video was deleted and I got a warning from YouTube. It's the first warning I ever got. But suffice it to say, I posted it on BitChute, but BitChute sometimes has problems uploading things. It can upload it really quickly. Sometimes it doesn't, and it didn't today. And the Hive and Steam it. I put the link to YouTube, so you won't be able to see it there. So I'm on Rumble. I have been on Rumble for the last couple of weeks. So if you really want to watch this video, go to Rumble after the live stream or whenever you can. Just go at Monaco 64 on Rumble. You can find my stuff easily there. I'm also on Instagram if you want to go on Instagram. It's Monaco 64. I think it's Monaco 64 golf underscore and finance. I think, I'm not too sure, but it will be on Rumble. And yeah, you can probably how can I say, figure out what it was about. And I didn't even, I had a feeling they were going to delete it, but for some reason they left it there up to 5,000 views. They even monetized it, and all of a sudden they just turned it off. But anyway, I heard someone asking or telling someone else that my name was Mario, not Monaco. So I'll explain to people. Some of you might know my father was called Mario as well, and I was named Mario. And in Brazil, the term filho is used, which means son for junior. So my name is Mario Tulio, in that code filho. So my dad always liked to give the children, my sisters had nicknames or have nicknames. So for me, it was normal to have a nickname as well because my father had the same name. For Monaco is from Mario and Ineco, even though the Monaco doesn't have the two N's and two C's, because Monaco also happens to be a nickname for Manuel in Brazil. But my name is, of course, Mario. So that's why, hence the name Monaco 64. That's when I was born, of course. Yes, Joanne, they did delete that video. I've uploaded it on Rumble because BitChute, I've uploaded there, but it hasn't come up yet. So Billy is here today again. Yeah, today, of course, is Father's Day. I think it's Father's Day everywhere around the world, at least here in the UK, in the US, in Switzerland. It was also my wife's birthday today. So we went out, my wife and I and my daughter, we went to a nice restaurant, nice steak, and it was Father's Day. So it was a good day. Lord Humongous, nice to see you here. Dan Breeze 13, he has 50,000 subscribers, almost up to 51 now. Leonardo Cirodio asks, where are you from in Brazil? I was born in Niterói in Brazil, which is like a city of about 400,000 people, right across the bay from Rio. I also lived in Rio when I was a little older. I went to high school in Rio, so that's where I'm from. Golden Gate, do you think Kiyosaki has it right and says buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin, shouldn't trash each other, but buy them all? I think he is probably right. And of course, I've been stacking gold and silver since 2002. Trading is a very different game. I have traded futures on gold and silver, back in about 15 years ago, and I did well, but it's not easy. But Bitcoin, yeah, long term, uh, I think it could work out. Right now, Bitcoin is looking a little bit under pressure. The key level, I think, is going to be about 29, 30,000. If we break through there, I think Bitcoin could be in for a long bear market before it resumes its trend higher. We'll have to see. Gold and silver as well. Gold especially has been hit hard. The paper price the last 10 days or so. I don't know where it's going to go, the paper price, but I just know that I'm going to hold on to my money, because that's what it is. Trading gold and silver for fiat currency, to me, seems like a losing battle, a losing game. Yes, it's great if that's your profession and you are a professional trader, then you can trade it. But I'm not here. I'm not trading full time. I'm investing. So there you go. But Kiyosaki, I think he was probably right. But I don't think you have to have that much crypto. And I think there's so many other alt currencies out there in the crypto world that will probably do a lot better than Bitcoin. So you need to do your homework. Uh, Baba Joe, yeah. Did you have to wear a mask in the restaurant? Yeah, it's silly, really. I didn't want to argue. You have to wear a mask when you go in and you go to the to tell, go to the where they check you in and they say, "Oh my, that's your table." And then when you walk to the table, you have to wear the mask. But when you sit down, yeah, this uh, uh, beer disease is so clever that it knows that if you sit down, it won't attack you, right? So you don't have to wear it when you're sitting at the table, but when you step, when you want to go maybe to the men's room, or if you want to go out for a cigarette, like my wife wanted to do, she had to put it back on. It's really silly. Uh, yeah, Billy's mom's birthday. There is Billy. He's fast asleep. Oh, there you go. Father's Day in Switzerland was June 6th. Yeah, these days are all different. In Brazil, Mother's Day is in the second Sunday of May. Here it's, I think it's in April or March. I'm not sure. Do you need to wear a mask to buy a mask? Dick Hayes, Perth Mint must be behind Aussie cyber attacks. Yeah, Lord humongous. Graham Hobbs, a double Desmond. Thank you. You know what a double Desmond is? Thank you for your super chat. Yeah, happy birthday, Mrs. Ineko. Uh, in the futures market in London, there's a lot of people, Cockneys. They're like from East London, the brokers, a lot of them, and they use a lot of Cockney terminology. So number 22 is a Desmond, which is Desmond Tutu. So there you go. Mario, do you prescribe to the Wyckoff trading method? Never heard of Wyckoff, but in all tradable markets, that big interest control and manipulate the markets, and we can benefit by trading with them instead of against them. I mean, when I traded my gold futures, I didn't use much leverage at all. Let's say I had $20,000 in the account. I would only use one future, let's say, for example. And what I would do, I would have a core position. Yeah, and you can tell when they're, if you sell gold futures right before the COMEX opens and then buy it back maybe 30 minutes later, most of the time you will make some fiat currency. I hate to say money, but yeah, some people don't believe there is manipulation. Like Charles Nenner, he's a guy who says, no, there's no manipulation. Markets just move because they move. But I don't totally agree with him. So yeah, the title of the live stream tonight is "We will need more than gold and silver to survive the coming collapse. And actually, I think we are witnessing a collapse. It might not feel like it, but I think what they've done these last, since the beginning of last year, is because they had to, because the financial system was completely under threat. You had the repo crisis in September 2019. The Fed had to start doing, they called it not QE again, and that was just a very good cover for it. And unfortunately, someone asked, I think before I came on, I can read a lot of the comments, and a lot of you come on really early and make comments about BlackRock. But it's not only BlackRock; it's a lot of the private equity groups. And the thing about private equity is that there's no transparency. It's private money. It's not in a public stock exchange, so you don't really know what's going on. So yeah, that is the goal. And it started in '08 because if you remember well, Mnuchin, who became Secretary of the Treasury for President Trump, he used to work for a big bank in California, and he made out like a bandit with all the bailouts and the programs that they brought after the collapse of '08. And a lot of these private equities and banks and hedge funds, they've bought a lot of the real estate, commercial properties, and I think that's what's happening here in the UK. Tomorrow we're supposed to be back to normal, but now they're talking about lockdowns, another lockdown in winter. I mean, how is that going to help small businesses, especially in travel and hospitality? It's going to kill the small businesses, the mom and pop businesses. And I think these private equities are going to swoop in. And I think that's a part of the agenda, to kill small businesses. And what that will do is that will give the consumer a lot less choice, labor a lot less, power. People won't earn as much because there'll be very few employers, and prices are going to go up because they're going to capture a lot of the market share, and they're going to have a lot more pricing power. So I expect prices to continue rising. Lily Robin, paper silver prices are dropping, real silver prices not dropping. Yeah, I mean, I did a video yesterday, and I was talking about my Buffalo 1 ounce gold Buffalo that I bought in 2007, and at the time it was about 350 pounds or something, and now of course it's a lot higher. But the spot price in pounds is 1280. But the Atkinsons, who are one of the biggest dealers, precious metals dealers in the UK, the price to buy a 1 ounce Buffalo is over 1,400 pounds, with the price at 1280. And even worse is that it says underneath the buy button that they don't have any. So yeah, I was reading as well, the Endgame Investor from Rafi Farber, and he was noting that with the big drop in gold that we've seen recently, actually the amount of physical gold that's gone into GLD has gone up, which is very unusual. And he noted that SLV, the amount of silver in the SLV has gone down, and silver hasn't really gone down as much as gold. So he thinks that maybe the bullion banks are getting rid, he thinks the bullion banks are actually buying the GLD because that might be considered physical gold, especially for the authorized dealers under the new Basel III rules that are coming up on the 28th of June. Who knows? Let's see some questions here. John Flynn, your talk of further lockdowns is spot on. The Northern Hemisphere summer is dead. Is dead cat bounce before we hit a really dark winter. Yeah, I think President, Joe Biden said something about dark winter. And if you listen to my video that I posted today on YouTube, which is actually on Rumble, go on Rumble, because YouTube deleted that video after 5,000 views. You will see what this, well, it was a lady. She called me from St. Thomas's Hospital. She told me there's going to be another lockdown. So there you go. Cortodoxos Carriers, thank you for your super chat. How much will gold and silver be worth if it is not for dollar value, be worth without dollar backing? Well, you have to think of it as purchasing power. You know, there's an old adage about an ounce of gold back in Roman times that you could buy a very good quality toga and a nice pair of sandals. So you have to think of it as in purchasing power. I think, you know, in 10, 15 years time, gold will still be very valuable. You'll be able to afford quite a bit. When or if there is a currency collapse, fiat currency collapse, gold will do very, very well because there will be no fiat currency around, no fiat money. Gold and silver will be the only money around. So the purchasing power will be very high. I guess some people think cryptos are going to be worth something, but I'm just sticking to precious metals here. So yeah, that's the answer. You know, if there's no dollars around, if there's a new currency, gold will hold its purchasing power. So for example, back in 2002, when I started buying gold and silver here in the UK, the price was around 200, 220 pounds. And now, and the FTSE was just below around 6,000. Now the FTSE is around 7,000. So, and gold is around 1,300. So the purchasing power of gold has gone up a lot. The Flying Dutchman, what do you recommend, buy silver or gold? I always think both are good to buy. I would say that silver, though, has more potential because in the past, in precious metals bull markets, silver always outperforms, and I think that will happen again. So yeah, if you have, let's say, $1,000, maybe buy $800 in silver and 200 in gold, you know, 80-20. That's probably what I would stick to. Pablo Pina, thank you. Yeah, Father's Day. Thank you, John Flynn, for your super chat. Shame to see decent working people without the means to future-proof themselves, having their lives ruined by the present cartel. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just, you know, it's really, how can I say? I think they're, because I was talking to my wife the other day, because, for example, when you go to the bank, I don't go too much to the bank. I went a few weeks ago to get a bit of cash out because we got people painting the outside of the house and they want cash. And I was, you know, in the line, you know, queuing up, and I could hear all the people coming in and saying, "Oh, can I want to print out of my statement." And they're saying, "Oh no, you have to go online." You know, they're very unhelpful, and I think they want to really drive people into a digital world, and they've used this crisis to do that. You know, I called the GP last week because I hurt my knee, and it's impossible to see a GP now unless you go private. But even then, it's probably hard. And yeah, they want you to do an e-consult online, and then someone will call you and say, "Oh, you will be able to be seen in months." So yeah, they're trying to make everything digital. You know, they want people to use apps for everything. I'm not saying apps aren't great, but you know, they're just forcing it down people's throats, and they've used this to accelerate it. And I think that's bad. A lot of people are going to get hurt. Sebastian Hopkins, Nat West. Yeah, NatWest, it almost feels like they don't want you to go there anymore. That's how it felt. The service was so bad. Yeah, that's the way it is. Glint Gold debit card, Best Bank Triodos. Yeah, I've heard of that one. I got this. I think I made this, designed this mug way before the silver squeeze movement, but it says, Billy says, snore on and keep stacking. There you go. Mario, are you aware of Fofo blog? He sees gold at 54, $55. Is that 55 or 55,000? You put a a dot there. It should be a comma. 55,000. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. We focus too much on the fiat price, uh, and I do as well sometimes. But we should focus on the weight of gold and silver that we have. Oh, Bjorn Andres Boo Hansen is here. No apps for me. I made my own smartphone from wood. Yeah, I saw that video you made. Yeah, that's interesting. Gold coins are smaller than silver coins, same weight and density. Are you, yeah, Fofos? Lloyd's Bank to become Britain's biggest landlord. Yeah, as I said, I think that's the plan. It's going to be like back in the old Soviet Union. The Communist Party nomenclature, or the intelligentsia, whatever you want to call it. They own everything. They could travel abroad. Right now there's a debate. Even the Telegraph is saying that there was an article yesterday by a guy called Ross Clark, and he said, the government have to be careful because they're winding people up. Because you had the G7 in Cornwall, and they were all having a barbecue, not wearing a mask, all close to each other, and we're not supposed to do that. And apparently now for this Euro football championship, they're going to allow thousands of UEFA and FIFA officials to fly into the UK without having to isolate. And yeah, so it's like in the Soviet Union. The people at the top could do anything they wanted. They could leave the Soviet Union, travel, and come back, while the normal citizens couldn't do anything. There was even a joke in the 80s because there was an American Express card advert. It said, "Don't leave home without it." And the Russian Express card was, "Don't leave home." So that's the UK Express card now, is "Don't leave home." Fed Reserve gold valued at 42,000 per ounce. No, it's valued, actually, the under legally, Congress has valued gold at $42.22. So I think the Fed holds all that. They hold the certificates for the gold that was confiscated, or the gold that's supposedly at Fort Knox, but it's only valued at $42.22. Mellow Fellow, the hate for Boris and BBC reporters are growing amongst the people. Yeah, I saw that video of those people harassing that BBC uh, journalist. He had to run for his. Well, he was really scared, and he ran into Downing Street, which I thought was quite symbolic, that he's trying to get refuge at the seat of government. The journalists, right? Just goes to show that they're working together. Yeah, the gold at Fort Knox, that's a really interesting situation. I think there's a congressman right now who's asking the Treasury for an audit. We'll have to see. They haven't done a proper audit for many years. Yeah, there was, the story about BlackRock. It just goes to show how the big corporations are using this because the big corporations have access to easy money from the central bank. So I'll just share this screen here. Uh, as you can see here, this private equity group, Clayton, Dubilier, and Rice, set to continue pursuit of Morrison's. So, this is an American private equity firm that wants to buy, Northern, because Morrison's is from the north of England and they want to buy it. And I was looking at the guy Rice, who's the founder of this private equity. He's a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. He's a member of the Brookings Institute. So yeah, that's the kind of guy who's going to be selling your stuff at the supermarket, and I think that's bad. What else have I got here? Uh, Telegraph. Anyway, what else? The Guardian has an article recently on CBDC introduction in Britain. Yeah, you know, these all the talk about central bank digital currency, it doesn't make any difference to me because there will still be rubbish. There'll be just like fiat currency, but they will be even worse because they'll have total control over your money or the currency that you use. Nowadays, you can still use cash. I think they won't ban cash, but people who work for the government, people who work for big corporations, they're all going to be, uh, trapped in this CBDC. I think, the independent builder and people that work in the smaller businesses, they will still require cash. And I think you still be able to go to the bank and get cash. But yeah, they're going to try to push. It's not about having a better money. It's about control these CBDCs. And I think that's why it's important to have a lot of silver, old silver coins as well, not just silver bars, because you can use that as barter. Well, it's money, right? And my view on universal basic income from Andreas is asking me, sorry, Bjorn is asking me. Yeah, I think it's a really, it's like, it's going to be make the economy, people even more and more dependent on government and the big corporations. It's very tempting because what's the point of going to work if you can stay at home and watch Netflix or the reality shows and get paid to stay at home? But the what that will do is that you're going to be almost like a child. Your parents are going to be looking after you. It's like being, going back to when you're younger and it's like getting, your when your parents give you some money every week, and they're in control of you, right? So it's the same thing, but it's government going to be in control of you. For the economy, it's going to be horrible because we're just gonna have the big corporations. They're not gonna go bust because they always get help from the central bank. But small businesses, they're gonna suffer even more. They won't be able to hire people because they're not gonna pay enough to compete with UBI, while the big corporations will be able to. I think it's a horrible experiment, and hopefully, people will realize it and then it won't work. But, when you give people something for nothing, they usually take it. It's very tempting. A new 50-pound note coming out soon. Yeah, I mean I don't think that's anything to do with the cashless society. I mean it's just that they've changed the 5-pound note, they changed the 10, the 20, and they hadn't changed the 50. The 50 is going to be this new, uh, feels like plastic. So that's what it's about. Nothing really sinister there, I don't think. Hey Mario, when is the next lockdown coming? Well, here I think I was reading today that it could be, SAGE, who are the scientists. Neil Ferguson is part of SAGE. Uh, they're saying that we might have to have another one in the winter, early, probably fall, mid late fall and winter, unfortunately. And it's ironic, because we're told that this country's done really well with those things, right? They've done a lot of people, and I don't want to even mention that word because I want to stay on YouTube to help you guys, hopefully. Uh, and yes, we're told that uh, we have to stay under lockdown because this, in other countries or states that have been back to normal for months, like Texas, they haven't done that as much to their people, but they're all right. So it makes no sense whatsoever. Hopefully, the majority of public will start to wake up, but for some reason, I don't think so. Brenton Smith, Marion, Billy, thank you for all your work. Keep the knowledge coming. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. The Lord is everywhere. Lol. Lord humongous. Is there any hope that British people will stand up? No more lockdowns. I think there are a lot of people that here in this country that are angry, and they're getting angrier. I think, yeah, more and more people are protesting. I think on June 26th, Saturday, there will be another protest in London. The last time there was a protest in London, there was a few 100,000 people, and the media reported that there were 200 or 300 people there. Have you checked into quadruple witching? Yeah, quadruple witching. I mean, I worked in the markets and in futures and options, and that's when all these futures and index futures, commodity futures, options, they coincide and they expire on the same. Usually, it's on a Friday, and there's a lot of volatility. I think we had that last week. It was a quadruple witching. Uh, Shane Sturgis, Britain is run by the City of London Corporation. Uh, I think you're wrong. It's more than Britain, actually. It's a lot. They have a lot more control than just Britain, the City of London. What do you think about Bill Gates? Not much. Not much, really. I think he should be behind bars, basically. Uh, Yeah, Sarge, it creates a lot of volatility. I think in 87, there was some kind of options expiry during the stock market crash. GB News, new TV channel is good, Mario. Yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't think, I think they're just controlled opposition. I think GB News, yes, they're going against a lot of the woke mentality, but they're creating even more division. I'd like them to come out and expose the World Economic Forum, expose Bill Gates. If they do that, then I'll maybe watch it. Expose the whole thing that we've had in the last 14 months. Then I'll watch GB News. But yeah, they are, I guess, a slight breath of fresh air. Cyber Polygon, yeah, that's July 9th. Lost in a Roman wilderness of pain, says son of a silver stacker. Uh, Alternate view, I have nothing to invest. I'm here to educate myself of the Ponzi scheme. Yeah, I mean, investing, is not just investing in the stock market or uh, putting your money in a company. Investing is investing in yourself as well, like staying healthy, um, eating well, that's part of that, uh, staying in shape, um, doing what you have to earn your living, and keeping a good economy, because economy comes from the Greek for budgeting your household. And I think that's important. So if you do that, you're already, you know, doing well. I think just because you don't have money right now to invest, I don't think it doesn't mean you can't invest. Do you think the dollar will strengthen in the short term before declining in the long term? Well, the dollar has already strengthened in the last week or so. Yeah, about the last 10 days. It could strengthen a bit more. In the long term, I've made many videos about the cycles of the dollar index. And I think the long term cycle is lower in the dollar index up until at least 2023. So, yeah, but that doesn't mean to say that the other currencies are a good hedge, because they aren't. The best money, I think, to hedge fiat currency are gold and silver, of course. Big oil, yeah, oil. Yeah, I mean, I bought some options like a month ago on crude, a 70 call, but I was a little early, so the calls have expired and I lost it a little bit. I didn't put much in it, and now it's going up to like 71. But yeah, crude oil looks good. All the commodities look good. We've had a quite a sharp pullback of late in commodities, but I think the long-term trend is higher for commodities just because the dollar is going to go lower, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, Lord Humongous. I think yeah, you need to watch the 29,000, 30,000 level on Bitcoin. If it breaks through there, we could be in for a tough bear market. Uh, Little meme. Uh, Listen to go onto Rumble into my channel at Maneko64, and you see what I think about what you just asked. I don't want to talk about that on this channel anymore because I put that you will see that the video on Rumble was on YouTube this morning and it was deleted, and I was given a warning, and they said if I get another deletion of video, they will keep me off YouTube for a week. And I don't want to, I don't want that. So, what I try to do here is inform the public about the monetary system and how they can fight these people by not having too much fiat currency in the bank. Because what people don't realize, the other side of the fiat currency is the debt. So if you have £1 million in the bank, your money is not really there. Uh, and that money has been used, has been leveraged or fractional reserved, like up to 10 million. And then Barclays, or they're speculating with that money. They're buying gilts with that, financing the government. So instead of keeping £1 million in the bank, I know very few people have that, but I'm just giving you an example. Take that £1 million, maybe leave 10,000 and buy gold and silver. That's the best way to really hurt these people. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And yeah, it's not because I'm scared of talking about it, because I'm not. What I'm concerned about is losing my platform for, what I talk about, really, economics, money, and markets. Prepper Days, thank you for your super chat. Just came in from my vegetable garden. Good. Uh, Socialism is modern slavery. Oh yeah, definitely. definitely. And well, I think there's an interesting video about the Jones plantation. I don't know if any of you have seen it. About the, yeah, I would look into that. Frank censored. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, the silverbacks, silverbacks. Um, Lord Humongous, hedge funds and banks buying houses should be outlawed. Well, the problem is that they're in charge of the government. They're in charge of the lawmakers, Lord Humongous, for now. When am I going to Switzerland? I don't know. Not anytime soon, probably. Not anytime soon. I think right now, um, moving, well, traveling is difficult right now because you don't know when the rules are going to change, but also maybe moving to another place is a bit tricky right now. I think, unfortunately, I think you need to, at least for me, I think that you need to stay put for now. There's always the saying, the grass is greener elsewhere, but no, the situation here is getting a little bit silly, I think. In the States, at least, you have some places where things have gone back to normal, but here we don't. Batman, Robin, he who owns lead makes the rules, and gold as well, I would say. Larry Ferris says American Gold Eagles Type 2 ship in around 18 days. Yeah, that's a long wait. Kinesis money, I think they're a good, how can I say, company, but I don't have an account with them. Um, I've read, I listened to how it works. It seems a little complicated, but I think it's legitimate. Kinesis Gold. I'm more of a traditionalist. I like to have the physical, you know. Uh, yeah. So there you go. I don't really want to. I think they pay you gold because of transaction fees. The more transactions there are, uh, they share the fees, I guess, with the people who own the gold. Yeah, Basel III, going to change anything? You know, the bullion market, gold and silver market have been very frustrating for the last 50 years. And there's a lot of credible people like Alistair McLeod, like Andrew Maguire, who are very knowledgeable, who think it is going to change. But we've heard a lot of times in the past, things about, oh, this is going to change the gold market, and nothing happens. So what I say is let's wait until the 28th and thereafter to see what happens. It's not the reason why I think one should get gold and silver, because Basel III is going to um, take gold to $5,000 in the next month. Because even if it went to $5,000, um, I'm not sure I might sell a little bit to do something that I need, but it wouldn't be I mean, for a trader it would be great. People who love fiat currency would be great. They could sell their paper gold position and they'd be really happy, but it wouldn't make much difference to me. It's like living in a nice house. You've been living there for 10, 20 years, and all of a sudden there's a huge real estate boom because I don't know why, for some factors, and your house goes from being worth $250,000 to $5 million. Are you going to sell that house to move somewhere else, even though you're really happy where you are? So that's the way I look at it. Norman Burton, thank you for your super chat, for your loonies, uh, Canadian loonies. That's the nickname in the foreign exchange market for the Canadian dollar, the loonie. I don't have a Telegram site. No, I mean, I publish my stuff on YouTube, Twitter. LinkedIn, uh, yeah, Hive, BitChute, DTube, Rumble, and I do everything on my own. And if I keep doing all these different things, it's too much. Might be best place to store your gold. Well, that's, somewhere very safe, I would say. You can store it with a credible, bullion dealer that and you have a relationship with for a long time, like Gold Investments. They store your gold, and I trust them. So yeah, hide it very well. Oh yeah, the Canadian government is also loony. Yeah. Do you think some states inside the US will do better than others during the economic collapse? Probably, yeah. Probably the states that, yeah, like Florida and Texas and other states that probably don't have as much debt. They're already doing well, aren't they? I mean, I think we are going through an economic collapse already. You know, they wouldn't be doing all these stimulus, monetary and fiscal stimulus, if there wasn't a collapse. People would be starving and dying of hunger if there wasn't furlough here in the UK, if there wasn't, all the stimulus checks in the US, and if they hadn't really stopped. Like here in the UK, they're going to extend the forbearance for tenants. Yeah, we're already in a collapse. There are coin shops in the UK, Alan. I mean, there's a good one in Bromley, Peter Morris. Yeah, look him up, Peter Morris in Bromley, and mention me, and he'll give you a good deal. But there are not too many left, coin shops in the UK. You're right. It's not like in the US. Yeah, yeah, those states as well, Lily. I agree with you. Montana, Wyoming, places like that. VAT on silver is a pain, but I don't think you'll regret in 2, 3 years' time about the VAT. I've spoken about the experience I had when I first bought silver. I paid £3.20 an ounce for silver at the time, and there's with the VAT was about 360, and I was a bit like, oh, what's this for? 20%. But now with the price, even though it's been suppressed, silver is about £20, the spot price. So I wouldn't worry too much about the VAT. One way to try to avoid the VAT is buying the junk silver, things like the old pre-1920 UK coins, like florins, shillings, crowns. But a lot of times, the dealers, or when you buy it, the VAT is even embedded into these. So there you go. Yeah, I would like to come to the US. That would be nice. Do a tour of the US, meet a lot of the viewers. Stop along the every state. Yeah, I'll bring Billy. Yeah, Billy's birthday is next July 7th. He's going to be 13, so he's getting on. He's a lot slower. I took him he likes going out for a walk, but he's he's slowed down quite a bit. Monaconomics American Tour. Mario might visit you if you tell that his driver will go 50 yards further. Yeah, I used to live in Switzerland, and there are some courses in Switzerland that are quite high up. and yeah, the ball travels further, in altitude. I will be watching a little bit of the U.S. Open tonight, um, after I finish here. I'm not a betting person, but I did bet. I haven't bet like in years, but I took put 20 pounds, and I bet on a few players to win the U.S. Open. We'll see what happens. Just a bit of fun. Norman Burton, don't come to Canada. They might not let you leave. Yes, you can get U.S. junk silver in the UK. Peter Morris, I bought a lot of my half dollars, a lot of my junk silver from him. Peter Morris, if you Google Peter Morris coins and medals, and if you do call him, uh, mention me, and he'll give you a good deal. SoCal Silver, thank you for your super chat. Thanks for all the economic history you share with us on a daily basis. I appreciate the good book. You're welcome. And recommendations as well. Recommendations as well. Right now, I'm reading a book about the Vatican, um, by a guy called Brosner. I think his name, I forgot now. Uh, yeah, it's the Pope's Banker. Very interesting. And yeah, the corruption and the in the Vatican, and the shenanigans. I think reading it, it looks like the Vatican was really the first hedge fund ever. You might think that's crazy, but no. The Vatican Bank was created in I think 1941 because they wanted to circumvent a lot of the trading against the trading with the enemy rules for World War II, and they kept everything offshore. So yeah, it's when I finish that book, I will recommend it. The coin shop is in Bromley. That's southeast London, not Belfast. There might be a coin shop in Belfast. Yeah, Gold Investments. Yeah, they have a good service, and the thing about Gold Investments is, uh, if they sell you a coin or bar, it's because they have it. You're not going to wait 2-3 weeks. You're going to get it the next day, maybe in 2 days at the latest. That's why I like dealing with Oliver and Simon, and I started dealing with that company with their dad back in '02, and they've been around since 1981. Thank you for your super chat, Bart. You were contacted by Load Crypto back currency. I still cannot sell my Load coins. David Morgan is an ambassador, but it smells like a scam. Or you? No, I wasn't. I haven't. I don't have any Load cryptocurrency. What do you think about all important politicians? Well, I get it from my parents. My parents never really were interested in politics because they thought all politicians were useless, and that's what I think. There's maybe only one politician that I respect, and that's Ron Paul. And that's it. No one else. Maybe Rand Paul, but I don't think he punches as high as his dad. His dad is really I think, the real thing. So I don't think much of politicians at all. Do you think there will be cash for silver shops to emerge? I think a lot of the cash for gold, they will buy silver as well. I mean, some of you might know I ran a pawn shop in the UK for about 18 months, 2 years, and I used to do cash for gold and silver as well. So I used to buy in silver, and they're probably doing that now, but it will probably pick up if the price of silver goes to $50. Yeah, you can bet there will be cash for silver. Ron Paul supporting Bitcoin is disturbing. I haven't really looked too much into that. I've seen that he's gone to like Anarchapulco and things like that, but I think Ron Paul is still a sound money guy, a gold and silver guy, but he's also got an open mind, about cryptocurrencies. As long as it's the market that's brought it into the fore. But anyway, uh, Michael, no, it's not a porn shop, a pawn, uh, PAW, pawn shop. I think you were probably joking anyway. What do you mean by collapse? Roman Empire? Um, I think by collapse, in what we're witnessing is like the post World War II system that we've had. The petrodollar and the dollar. I think 2020 is marking a whole shift, and to bring in a new system, you have to uh, demolish the old system. It's a controlled demolition. I think that's what's happening. It's very difficult to say what's going to come out on the other side, but the reason why I think having gold and silver is a good thing is because gold and silver have survived all the disasters, all the collapses, everything for thousands of years. And currencies, fiat currencies, they haven't survived for that long. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies don't have a track record, so they can be risky. NSW Model X gold to 1500. Is that in US dollars or in British pounds? I don't know. It could go to 1500, but you'll probably be paying still 1800 or 1900 for an ounce of gold if you can find it. That's the paper price, of course. What do you think about platinum? Yeah, platinum, I mean, should do well as well. With the dollar still going lower, with precious metals with gold and silver doing well. I don't have any platinum. Platinum is more of an industrial metal, even though it's a precious metal. King Knights of Malta headquarter, Malta, somewhere in Malta. I've been to Malta actually a few years ago, when my cousins got married there. I don't know why he chose Malta. It's a nice place. I went to the town up in the mountains. I think that's where their headquarters is. Oh, is Billy gonna get down? Or? No, he's just moving, getting comfortable. Billy Coin, I'm looking into it. It's not as easy as people think. And a lot of the mints, they want to deal only with very big people, wholesalers, not small operations like mine. So I'm looking into it. Thank you for your super chat, KL. See you tomorrow morning, vids. Oh yeah, you saw the video. They did. Well, I put it on Rumble. If people haven't seen it, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I was given a warning, the first warning I've ever had, and the first video I've had deleted by them. Diamonds and precious stones, Zulu girl asks. Well, diamonds, are tricky. You have to be very careful. You probably need to get a specialist if you're planning to invest a lot of money in them and the precious stones, because there's a lot of scam artists, I think, in the diamond and precious metal stone space. But it's a very good way to transport wealth. You can have a little diamond like that, and if you have to leave leave your country, go somewhere else. You take that, and if you're sure it's worth something, it's fine. The thing about diamonds, I think they're not as liquid. They're not as easy to sell as gold and silver, but I think they'll do. There are theories out there that diamonds are not worth as much because they're controlled by the De Beers or whatever, but it's still valuable. I think I watched there's a French program called Lupin, and they always pay people with diamonds. So yeah, diamonds are good. I don't. The only diamond I have is the jewelry that I've given my wife over the years. She's got some diamonds. Uh, what Lord Humongous synthetic? Yeah, those are the cubic zirconian CZ. Yeah, but people who really want diamonds, they won't buy the synthetic diamonds. You just have to be careful that uh, when you're buying diamonds, that they're not the synthetic one. Any gold larger than 10-ounce bar is also not easy to liquidate. Easy in an emergency. Yeah, the thing with gold bars, you know, let's say you have $10,000 to invest. I think it would be good to have, coins. But if you have $100 million, then you're going to buy quite a few bars, right? So it depends on how much wealth you have. Mark has the Indian Chinese precious metals market started to ramp up buying again. I don't know, but I saw someone write about the gold market in Vietnam that they were paying like 200 over spot last week. Alternate view, always enjoy your teaching with recommended books. Yeah, I'll try to. Maybe I'll do a video one day with a series of books. I've done that before, but maybe do it again. I haven't done it in a long time. And of course, always get new subscribers and viewers. Low income buy gold now, scramble for silver after. It's very hard. Oh, hold on, what's happened here? Can you still hear me? Okay. What do you think about bullion vault in London? Is it a good way to buy and store gold? Uh, yeah, bullion vault. I'm not sure. They do limit the amount of gold that you can take out, but I guess if you're okay, if you trust a third party, go ahead. One thing about bullion vault I don't like. Oh, sorry. It's just that I got a message on my computer. One thing I don't like about Bullion Vault is that the Rothschilds invested millions of dollars or pounds about 8, 10 years ago in that company. So, and silver, I called them back in, when was it? March, when the silver squeeze was going on, and just to ask them about their service. And you know what they told me is that their service is not for people who want to have physical. It's just for storage. And by having physical, I mean it's a service that they don't want you to call them and buy the gold and take it out, even though they can do it. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about Bullion Vault. I do have an account with them, but I don't have anything in it. I opened an account with them like 15 years ago. I had some stuff in there, but I took it out. Backyard Bullion is a good advocate of silver and have learned a lot from this channel. Yeah, I contacted him about the Billy coin, but he said it wasn't economical for him, and it would be he would have to ship it to me so I could ship it to the person who bought it. But yeah, I have I actually ordered a silver bar from him, stamped Monaco 64. I haven't got it yet. Looking forward to getting it. I'll show it to you guys when I get it. I think it's 3.3 ounces of silver. He's made a little bar for me. So we got a couple of minutes left. Cooking, Andre, how can people travel with bullion by plane? Uh, well, I've traveled with 3 or 4 sovereign gold coins in my pocket with all my other change. And when you go through security, they don't even know it's gold. But yeah, it's harder to travel with, let's say, 50 ounces of gold. Um, yeah, but that's something that you could, if you're going somewhere and you want to take your gold with you, maybe you ship it. You can ship it insured. You get there and then it will be waiting for you. Lord Humongous says central banker's Achilles heel is silver. I think so too. uh, I read something about the Hunt brothers in the 70s that they were buying a lot of silver, draining a lot of silver from everywhere around the world, not just COMEX. And I read something to the effect that the bankers in Switzerland were really worried because the system was imploding because they were buying all the silver. So yeah, silver, is seen as like gold's little brother, but I think it's really important as well. That's right, Rod Panhard. Like a pre 1933 $20 double eagle is $20. It's not 1800 or $1900, right? Legally is $20, and the sovereign as well. Legally, it's a pound. So you could travel into the UK with 100 sovereigns and say this is 100 pounds. Yeah, you can buy a gold Rolex and wear it through customs too, or you could buy a Patek Philippe Grand Complications for a few £100,000 or $500,000. Or you could buy the 1933 Double Eagle that just sold at Sotheby's beginning of June for I think $18 million. The 1933 Double Eagle. Yeah, and you need to check. This is a really good book about that coin. I'll type it here. Illegal Tender. The author, his surname, I think, is David Tripp, and it's the story about the double eagle. Michael Boltinghouse. Nobody cares about Vietnam. Well, I think that's an arrogant thing to say because if gold is trading in Vietnam at $200 above spot, you can bet people who arbitrage the markets, they will go there and they're it's going to affect the price, the world price of gold. I think that's a silly thing to say personally. Anyway, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for being here for the live stream, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, if it's the first time you've watched my channel, think about subscribing. And I make a video every day as well. So take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Let's